Smurfing is a common issue in online competitive games, but Marvel Rivals has a major problem, especially in Bronze. The way the ranked system is designed makes it too easy for high-ranked players to create Smurf accounts and completely take over the lower ranks. This does seem to be much more of an issue on PC rather than console, but it is prevalent on both platforms. If you've ever played ranked even briefly, you've probably noticed Smurfs on your team, Smurfs on the enemy team, and a matchmaking experience that feels completely unpredictable. So why does Marvel Rivals seem to struggle with Smurfing more than other games? What causes players to do it, and what solutions could actually fix the problem? In online competitive games, a Smurf is someone playing on an alternate account that is usually much lower rank than their main account. There are a lot of reasons why people Smurf, and some players have justifiable reasons, while others Smurf purely for selfish, toxic, or even monetary reasons. Let's break them down. One of the most common reasons for Smurfing is when a high-ranked player wants to queue with their lower-ranked friends, but they can't because their main account's rank is too high. I don't think this is entirely a bad thing, but it can lead to some imbalanced matches, and one of the unintended or intended results is that the Smurfs often boost their friends to ranks higher than they would have been able to get to by themselves. Toxic Smurfs that like to stomp easy lobbies. These are the types of players who spam GGEZ in chat after crushing a team that they knew had no chance. Whether they're looking for a self-confidence boost or they just can't handle the competition in their real rank, these players Smurf purely to dominate easy lobbies. Some players Smurf just to ruin games. They throw matches, grief teammates, will intentionally disrupt the game for their own amusement. They're argumentative, toxic, and beyond reasoning. The most frustrating part is that these players are sometimes genuinely skilled when they play on their main accounts, and they are deliberately throwing games on their Smurf accounts for a quick laugh. And when you can buy a new level 10 account for less than $2 or spend 5 hours leveling up a new account to level 10 yourself, it's easy to see why these Smurfs can get away with it. Some Smurfs aren't necessarily trying to ruin games, they just don't want to risk their main rank while learning a new character, strategy, or trying out a new team comp. For example, if you have a diamond tank main who wants to learn how to support. The argument to stick to quick play to learn has its points, but also competitive games play wildly differently. And if you're already a higher rank on your main account, quick play isn't always the best place to learn a new role. But this still creates an imbalance when an experienced player is experimenting in a rank they really don't belong in. Boosters are players that charge real money to rank other people up. They usually form groups of boosters so that they can efficiently boost several low elo players at the same time, and they boost these players to ranks that they would have never been able to achieve themselves, either by playing on that person's account or queuing up with them in ranked games and carrying them. These boosters usually work on behalf of a website that pays them per job, and these jobs either have them sign into that person's account or they have that person play with a team of Smurfs that are all boosting people. And finally, my least favorite type of Smurf, the content creator. Now, to be fair, not all content creators who Smurf are toxic. Some genuinely want to make educational content, guides, or tutorials, and they want to help the player base improve. I can respect that. And trust me, it's not lost on me the irony here of me playing in Bronze and making this video. I'm contributing to the very problem I'm calling out. But the difference is I'm not here to humiliate low-ranked players for views. The content creator Smurfs I do take issue with are the ones who create videos centered around mocking low elo players, the ones who post highlight montages of them effortlessly stomping Bronze lobbies just to flex and show how good they are, and I've never been a fan of that content. Regardless of the reason, Smurfs heavily affect the ranked experience, and in Marvel Rivals, it seems like the highest concentration of them is in Bronze. Unlike other competitive games where players have to play through placement matches that determine their starting rank, Marvel Rivals automatically places every player in Bronze 3 the moment they hit level 10. Even if you've never touched competitive mode, the system defaults you to Bronze 3 at the end of each season. That means every single Smurf has to climb out of Bronze first. In a lot of games, including League, Fortnite, and even Overwatch, skilled players can skip the lower ranks by doing well in their placement matches, landing in Silver, Gold, or even Platinum depending on their performance. But in Marvel Rivals, everyone is forced to start from the bottom, which has two major consequences. One, it makes a lot of players unintentional bronze Smurfs, because in a game with placement matches, they would have never placed in bronze. They would be properly placed in gold or platinum right off the bat. Two, it makes it unbelievably easy for toxic Smurfs and content creators to get to bronze. As soon as they touch comp, they are in bronze. In games like League, these players have to intentionally de-rank down to bronze by throwing games or buying an account that's already bronze, and those were actually quite expensive at one point, which turns into its own set of problems. Some competitive games have tried to counter smurfing by implementing anti-smurf systems. Rainbow Six Siege requires players to link a phone number in order to play ranked, and that phone number is only valid for one account. This doesn't entirely eliminate smurfs, but it creates a significant hurdle that most aren't willing to try and bypass. League of Legends also tried tackling the Smurf issue by implementing a system that detected when a new player was playing way above bronze or silver skill level. Before they could even finish their placement matches, the system would assign them a much higher MMR than their actual low elo rank, which essentially put them into a separate matchmaking pool with only other Smurfs. In theory, this would keep low-ranked players safe from getting stomped, but in practice it caused a lot of problems. First, it wasn't perfect. It false flagged a lot of new players who were just naturally talented, forcing them into brutal lobbies against experienced Smurfs. Imagine a match where every single player is a Smurf. There's no one taking it seriously. Everybody is trying to do some toxic shit, and it turned Smurf Q into a circus. Overall, Smurf Q was not a success, and they still haven't tackled the smurfing problem in League to this day. The Smurf problem is getting worse in Rivals as the season drags out. The mid-season soft reset was definitely needed, and they decided to not go through with it after the community complained enough. The result? A lot of hard-stuck Diamond and Grandmaster players have peaked on their main accounts and out of boredom or frustration are creating Smurfs just to be able to climb again. What's crazy is that as a Grandmaster player, I actually found my few matches in Bronze harder to play in than the ones in Grandmaster. Right now, Bronze is so riddled with Smurfs that your game's outcome isn't about your skill as a Bronze player. It's about how many Smurfs are on your team versus the enemy team. Every match is a complete gamble. If you're a genuine Bronze player, this is one of the worst times to try and climb because of how many high-ranked players are smurfing. And going through their match histories, these Smurfs cannot be having a good time because they are struggling to climb out of Bronze because they're constantly facing other Smurfs. So what can be done? Right now, even with the new reporting options, there is no option to report smurfing in Marvel Rivals, and NetEase hasn't addressed it. They're still focused on getting rid of exploits and third-party programs like Blitz, so smurfing doesn't even seem to be on their radar yet. I really hope NetEase comes up with a solution because placing every new account in Bronze 3 every season is just making the problem worse. NetEase could try a few of the following options in order to alleviate the problem. The first and easiest adjustment would be placement matches. It's not even about preventing Smurfs, it's about stopping unintentional Smurfs from terrorizing Bronze when they should have been in Gold or Plat to begin with. You have to realize there are a lot of people that create alternate accounts for a variety of reasons, and they have no desire to stick around in Bronze. They want to get to Gold, Plat, or their previous rank if it's even higher, as quickly as possible, and Bronze is just a stepping stone. This turns them into unintentional Smurfs, and they would have never been in Bronze to begin with if placement matches were a thing. It's drastic, but Siege did it, and it worked. The difference is Marvel Rivals has a much more casual audience, and I doubt that they would accept it. However, Siege, with its much lower player count and much more hardcore audience, was able to accept the phone number requirement. One thing is for certain, it would instantly kill easy mass smurfing. Instead of smurfing to play with friends, why not have another team-based ranked mode like League's Flex Queue, where everybody can queue up together as a team in a 6-stack, and that group, regardless of rank, is able to queue together, but it's a separate rank from solo queue. The biggest problem with Bronze right now, and the reason it's a gamble, is because there are Smurfs on both teams that are mixed in with genuine Bronze players. So it really just depends on how many Smurfs you have on your team versus how many Smurfs are on the other team. But that doesn't mean you can't climb. You can still work on improving, find a group of solid teammates, and control what you can. At the end of the day, I feel like it is still possible to climb out of Bronze if you're tenacious and you're able to put in the effort. Go to the Marvel Rivals Discord, find a few teammates and create a pre-made. Go in with a 3-stack, where each of you play tank, DPS, and support. That gives you a wide variety to cover all roles. This means that when you inevitably get an instant lock DPS, or you get somebody that's just not that great at support, you at least still have your pre-made teammates that you can depend on. This makes climbing out of bronze much more consistent. I cannot play solo queue. Even at the Grandmaster level, solo queue is a nightmare where you run into 3 or 4 instant lock DPS players. Playing with a pre-made of 2 to 3 people is an absolute must. If you found this video interesting, I would greatly appreciate if you hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching, and I will see y'all next time.